Hey, it's Drybear. People have been flocking to social media to ask burning questions to the developers regarding Season 1 and the future of Diablo 4. And because I know you're busy, today I'm going to recount all of the most important responses we've officially gotten from the devs so that you can stay in the know without having to read through all of the rest of it. But first, you should come hang out with me on my live stream. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/Drybear. If you don't come hang out with me and the community, the next time you're grilling hot dogs, you're gonna cook it slightly too long so that they split in a really weird way. Still delicious, but kind of a weird shape. The first thing I want to talk about is the change to Bloodlands. And this is a big shame, and I get why they had to do it. This affects my Crimson Impaler build. I love Bloodlands a lot. It's so much fun, but there were some scaling procs, like based on targets hit, it shot off extra Bloodlances, and this was getting completely out of control, where if you had enough mob types, you could actually lag the server or cause issues with your client based on how many Bloodlances were actually spawning within the same single frame on the server, causing loads of issues. So what they have done is they have put a cap on the spawning rate of this. And this is something that I've experienced many times with many of the abilities I've designed and helped implement into games. You can't spawn this many things at once. It just always causes problems. So they've put a cap on it. This does actually, it nerfs the Bloodlands build, makes it a little bit harder in dense mob packs to scale. And they mentioned that they will be looking at ways that they can buff this better in the future. And they hope to have this out for Season 1 or the first patch that comes out after Season 1. As mentioned by Adam Fletcher here, you may be going, this is a nerf, and it is, but it's temporary. So when they have an update for this, they want to rebuff it to get Bloodlands back to where it is. And I hope they do it soon because it's one of my favorite Necromancer builds. The next comes from Joe Pipiora, the Associate Game Director. The very honest question, this one gets asked a lot. I've covered it in many of my videos, but let's cover it again just so you know. The Kool-Aid plant asks, if I discover all the map and the altars on normal servers, will I start with all of those available? And does this include the bonus gold and bonus XP for all rewards? And Joe says, yes, they do. You'll have full credit for having discovered the altars and discovering the map. So that is confirmed. Another one that I get all the time on stream, and there was no chance this was going to happen, but again, a good one to cover, is if I level up my glyphs on the normal servers and then I go into season, will those glyphs still be leveled up? And the answer is no. So when you make a new character on season, since it is technically a new realm, a new server set, you will have level 1 glyphs of all types, and you'll have to manually level all of the glyphs for the build you're trying to accomplish. This next one is an important one because they haven't directly addressed this ever, and they've kind of been dodging it, but this gives us a very good clue as to what they're planning to do for hardcore. We weren't sure on this, but this is enough to suggest that they're going to copy the Renown from both hardcore servers and eternal servers. And this is the first time they've ever mentioned this directly. So the question is, since I play hardcore, what happens to all the progress made with altars and maps if my toon dies before the patch? And Joe says, if you don't log into the character and after the patch goes live, you won't be able to copy that progress, which tells me that hardcore characters will be able to copy their Renown progress over to the seasonal server, just like the eternal characters will. With an asterisk. The way they're doing this copying progress system is it's ad hoc, which means that when you log into a character, it will dynamically, at the point of login, copy the progress of that character over to the account progress and store it. It's not going to be run through a script. They're not going to go back and figure it all out. You have to be the one to log into your character on launch day to get that progress copied. So if you're on hardcore and you've done all your Renown, do not die before this patch comes out, because if you do, you won't be able to log into your character after the patch, copy that progress, and have it copied over to your other servers for the reveal. So hardcore will copy Renown progress, but only if you can log in after the 18th. Another great question that I've been asking as well is, will we be able to rebirth our characters in Season 1? This was an option for people in Diablo 3, and the idea was that if I have my main character on Eternal, and I like the name, I like the look, it's my character, I'm very fond of it, and then when season comes out, I have to make a new one, and I don't want to make a new name, or I don't want to make a new character or whatever, I like my character. The option was available in Diablo 3 where you could rebirth that character, which means that you would wipe the loot that it had on it, you would set it back to level 1, and you would convert it into a seasonal character, and then you would re-level that same character up again, and then when season ends, they would go back to Eternal, and you'd always have the one character that you would main. And that was a cool option in D3. It meant you didn't have a lot of extra characters, and especially good for the end of seasons when a seasonal character gets converted into Eternal character. And if you're someone who plays one class, like you have a Barbarian and then a seasonal Barbarian, and at the end of season, you now have 2 Barbarians, it gets a little weird. So they say that this is not going to be an option for season 1, but it is something that they are aware of and discussing, at least internally. The next one is a pretty good one that a lot of people have been worried about, is will we have to reach level 100 every season to complete the battle pass? Because I'm barely getting my first character there after 280 hours. The response from Joe is nah, definitely not. So your character level is not a major component of you finishing your seasonal journey, finishing your seasonal battle pass. If you look at what we've seen so far on the battle pass, there are ways to do daily quests, weekly quests, journey quests, doing activities. It's not tied to your character progression per se. And it seems like as long as you can get to level 50 to 60, you can complete the battle pass quite easily. Even if you're just doing the other things, you should be able to easily do it. You won't have to completely cap your character out to get all of the seasonal journey / seasonal battle pass rewards. The next question, which was a little aggressive, but is pretty straightforward, is any plans to fix the memory leak? There's a lot of people that are having crazy stutters and game lag, client lag, server lag. It's causing lots of issues and causing their game to shut down and close or crash. And the response from Adam Fletcher was, it's been a tough to track issue, but I think we may have a potential fix on 7.18. By the way, when they say this, this means that if you've never done any software development or game development before, if a issue cannot be reproduced in a dev environment, it can't be fixed. What that means is if they can't get it to happen in a developer environment, like in their local servers, local setup, they can't track the issue, they can't fix the issue because they can't get, it's not observable. And there's plenty of issues that happen like this where they happen very rarely on live servers, on live environments. And then when you take it into dev, there's no way for QA or engineering or anyone to be able to reproduce it, which means that they can't fix it. So if that's one of these cases here, it seems to be happening, but it does seem to be rare or hard to reproduce, which means it's hard to fix. But it seems like they have seen at least some evidence of this, and they've put a fix on what they've found so far. When they say they have a potential fix, it means that we don't know if that's causing the whole thing. We don't know if that's the exact reason, but it may be one of the reasons, and we have a fix for that specific vertical that might make it better. So it looks like for the memory leak, if you're waiting for this, they will have some improvements coming in the first patch that hopefully has a nice impact on that problem. Now, the response is a good confirmation for people that are planning to not do seasonal servers. There are plenty of people out there that just want to keep leveling their character, keep making it better. They don't care about the seasonal activities. They just want to play their main. And so if you're staying on the Eternal servers, this is a confirmation. Again, I've mentioned this in other videos, but it's good to reconfirm that there will be 32 new Malignant Hearts inside of season, but there are still 6 new unique items, not uber unique, and 7 new legendary aspects. And these will be available on the Eternal servers, starting with the patch date of 7.18. And so if you're not playing season, the 6 new uniques and the 7 new legendary aspects will be available, and you can collect them, you can loot them, you can use them. You just won't have access to the seasonal journey or the seasonal mechanic of the Malignant Hearts. The next one is a cool update that they have been dodging for a while, but we got a little bit of a tip from this response. They said that when the Druid loot tables were broken, we're saddened to see the fix, but also what about leaderboards? Leaderboards are pretty cool and fun to interact with. Adam Fletcher responds, with leaderboards, we have mentioned will be in a later season, which they have mentioned before. It won't be in season 1, but it's something that they're working on. It sounds like it's in very early development, like design work from the UX team to be able to get it, drafted out and working, and then the engineering team to figure out how they're going to implement it. But based on this response, Adam Fletcher says maybe by season 3, which means it's probably not even on like active work. It's probably in very early design, discussions and concept, and they're figuring out how to make the leaderboards work, but they are working on it. So I wouldn't expect leaderboards to be maybe even before fall or this summer, but it is coming, and maybe by the end of the year or Q1 next year, we could have leaderboards, but not in the near term, so don't expect anything coming for leaderboards. And the last one I'll leave it with is one that shocked a lot of people as well. On the patch notes, they said they increased the material cap from 999 to 9,999. And this was actually a typo because we were already capped under 10,000 anyways. So just to confirm, if anyone who freaked out like I did, I was like, wait a minute, we're already at 9,999. It was a typo. The max cap for resources is now 99,999. So you get almost 100,000 for your material resources. And that's what I've got for you today. Those are all the most important responses from devs and things that I think are interesting for upcoming updates and for the game itself. If you found value in the video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and I'll see you on my live stream. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.